I can't believe this dude. Like, he was a fucking stoner, you know what I mean? He was always drunk every weekend, and then now he's in the border patrol. And I was
wow.
Like, yeah, and I was like, wow, I can't.
That's a 180.
They just get
indoctrinated. Yeah.
Well, some people are just some people. There's a term that I heard Dr. Cornel West, who is oh yeah, so he's Dr. Cornel West. I forget if he teaches at Princeton or Harvard, but he teaches. You know, he's a social justice type Christian man and philosopher. Yeah, he's awesome. A wonderful thinker. Made a lot of great contributions to American thought in the time he's been around. But he used the word to describe how. Because somebody had asked him about identity politics and, you know, social justice and stuff like that, and he said, do you agree that, like, you know, like with the criticisms about some people on the left that are just overly focusing on identity politics, and, you know, and then the other side saying that no, we need to focus more. And he said what I want to see is that you need to be more so than just being able to wave a banner or say that you're associated with this group. You need to be fortified. Oh, yeah. Like, you need to be able to deal with the fact that people are going to push against you. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to accept the fact that not everybody is going to welcome your opinion with open arms. And there's always opposition. And that even to the people who are in your general space and whatnot, they're going to have slight variations in the way that they see things. And people are going to... The thing is that we are still going to have to work with and engage with people who have done things or said things or still believe things that we don't like, but that we have enough overlapping interest and goals and shit that needs to be the primary goal. And not getting, because one thing I notice is that the more I pay attention to like the political groups, especially online and whatnot, is that a lot of them seem to just be more interested in the cosplay of it, in the just being able to be able to reference different theory and just, talk specifically about particular leaders and shit, activists. I'm like, okay, but what is it y'all are practically doing? And it seems like that y'all are so focused on which clique y'all belong to and gatekeeping around that shit that you're not able to actually draft or be as effective in the things that you're doing. You constantly wonder why your numbers are so low, or why, we say, oh, we can't, there's no way we could work with such and such because they think this. Okay, but what about the 20 other topics or 20 other issues that you see eye to eye on? So what about forming a plan to actually get that shit accomplished?
Oh my god, see, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's also, for those listening to it, it's kind of like, I always feel like, to go back to some people not knowing or not being able to, I don't want to say awake or something, but actually see what the fuck is going on. I feel like it's mostly, like in my experience, it's like mostly like my older parents and my older, uncles and aunts, especially like Hispanics and like people of color and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, I'm thinking more immigrants too, because when people come from other countries, it's like they have that fear that like I have to follow this rhetoric or I might go back.
Right.
And like it's very sad because we are a country made of immigrants, so it's like I don't want to say the 1%, but like the rich, affluent people that control everything, like they want to keep people that don't really have like money or even stabilization here in the country. They want to keep them as pawns, and they want to sort of keep them dumb. I always think about, I don't know if you guys have seen Idiocracy. What is it?
I did see. I saw Idiocracy.
Idiocracy, yeah. It's funny, and I get it. It's very satirical. Like if nobody's seen it, like you should watch it, because I feel like that's what the fuck is going on right now, or the start of what the fuck would like. Yeah, but hopefully not. People are starting to like see like maybe we shouldn't be doing all this stupid shit. Like you said, follow people clicks. Like they don't even know what they believe in. Mm-hmm. It's more of like, where can I belong that people like accept me? So like it's very crazy. It's very like, again, psychological. It's like people haven't grown up, nobody's really mentally mature yet. So I always think like, it's very controversial, but like voting at 18, it's so like is it temporal lobe or isn't fully formed yet? Or not, something isn't fully formed yet. Like I feel like, until you're 25, yeah. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing until I was 25. When I was 25, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, okay, what do I... Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Some people are like older and they still don't know what the fuck. But like shit like that. Like, a lot of these like kids, like they're malleable. Whoever said they're malleable, like when the military tries to come in, exactly. Because for them it's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know, like these are the only people giving me options, and also like nobody else ever makes them believe that they can do more than what people think that, like, put them in the box to do, you know?
Yeah. Did somebody else have something to say about?
Yeah. Well,
what I was going.
I don't know how I just went everywhere.
No, you're good. No, you were basically the tangent that I was. Or basically the third line I was trying to say between Irene talking about how somebody who was like a stoner slacker could become border patrol.
Oh, yeah.
And then, Matt had made a reference about how, of like a culture of violence can be inspired, where people are taught to participate in something because, I have to get this paycheck, even though I'm not maybe normally a violent person, I still have to go treat these other people a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Or even though I don't really want to evict these people, they say, I'm just taking orders, I'm just doing my job. And so when I was saying, referencing Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West, when he said fortified, is that this individual, this stoner slacker became border patrol, was, he may have been able to understand the part about, being hedonistic and, questioning of authority and whatnot, but he was not fortified enough in understanding the true principles behind those things about personal autonomy and respect, for others, and not participating in certain institutions and shit, that when he was like, when he needed a job and shit, he thought that was an adequate, path for him. So and of course it's like people are not. I don't really believe in black or white in terms of most people's identities. It's like there's, even though somebody can say that they believe in one thing, there could be 1,000, multiple ways that they come to that conclusion, and that's what defines the gray. The gray within that. In that case, I would say that person's like a right-wing libertarian type of conservative libertarian, because they can understand the element of, okay, as an individual, I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And nobody else can really impinge on my rights. But then at the same time, he's able to exert power over other people's autonomy and shit. Because
how convenient.
How convenient that you're the one who has the reins of power. You're the one that's in your place, and the reins of power, and everybody else is in their place as your victim and shit.
Right.
And,
I mean, let's take it all the way back, okay? Elementary school. This is how we grew up. We grew up with these power dynamics, right? So people always kind of boxing us in. You either are here or you're here. And I have a say-so. So, I mean, you're talking about finally someone giving these kids an opportunity to be that say-so person. You know what I mean? Quote unquote. Because you really don't have a say, somebody's telling you what to do, but it's the power trip.
Yeah.
And then we want to ask ourselves why someone can carry a gun and exert power over people when they have little to no education. Can we talk about the police? Okay? They don't have to have much education to hold a gun. Versus practicing law, which takes about 10 years. Okay? Let's talk about it. Let's take it all the way back. And it's power dynamics. That's what it falls into, and that's what it's going to keep being. It's a business. Again, it's a system. It's a machine. It runs this way. So it's, again, not in my best interest for y'all to be exploring your consciousness. Not in my best interest for y'all to be talking about this. Okay? Like, that's what it comes down to. So, again.
Come get us, bitch.
Girl, okay. The fact that now, again, I'm going to go back to the internet because it's such a tool and we forget that it is. We just want to post pictures of our food and all that stuff. I get it. It's cool. It's fun. But also communicate with each other. So whoever's listening to this, talk to one another. Communicate with people in other states. I follow people in other states that I feel closer to than some of the people around me physically. And it's such a beautiful thing to experience. And that's what it is. It's communicate, create a community of people, talk to each other, because these things are important. And if that young kid would have been a little bit more informed, like you were talking about, perhaps he would have made a different decision. Perhaps even now, if he had still become border patrol, maybe he'd be making some different decisions in his everyday life. We don't know the effect that thought would have on just this one person, you know? So it transpires throughout your entire life, but it's really important. I don't know where my combo started, but anyway.
Yeah,
Fuck the system.
yeah. No, absolutely. All right.